Hi, I've been thinking about something and it's been bothering me a bit. Why is it that we can genuinely want to change and still not follow through? Not once, not twice, but over and over again. Because I don't think it's laziness and I don't think it's lack of motivation either. I think it's something quieter than that. I think it's self trust. And I don't think we talk about that enough. When you say you're going to do something, even something small, and you don't do it, nothing explodes, there's no alarm, no one calls you out, life carries on. But something shifts, very slightly. You notice it, even if you don't consciously say it out loud. You said you'd wake up earlier, you didn't. You said you'd go for that walk, you didn't. You said that you'd stop scrolling at night, you didn't. Individually they feel small, but they stack, and after a while you stop fully believing yourself. You still make plans, you still set goals, but there's a part of you that doesn't quite buy it anymore. That part matters, because confidence doesn't come from hype, it comes from evidence. And if your recent evidence says, I don't follow through, then of course you don't feel steady. Of course you hesitate. Of course you keep starting over. That's not a personality flaw, that's just logic. If someone else kept breaking promises to you, you'd trust them less too, right? So why would it be different with yourself? I think a lot of people try to fix this by going bigger. Bigger reset, stricter plan, new routine, or a fresh start. But if you already don't trust yourself, going bigger just gives you more room to fail. And then the cycle repeats. You try, you slip, you feel annoyed at yourself, you scale up again to make up for it, and then you burn out. It's exhausting. What actually rebuilds self trust isn't intensity, it's reliability. It's doing one thing you said you would do, even when it's boring, even when no one sees it, or even when it doesn't look impressive. That's the work, and it's not glamorous, but it is powerful. I've noticed something in myself. When I keep my word in small ways, I do feel different. I don't feel louder, but I feel more confident in quite a big way, and it just keeps me steady, like I believe myself again. And that steadiness changes how I approach everything else. I don't need a motivational speech, I need proof. Proof that when I decide something, I can follow through, even if it's tiny. So instead of asking, why can't I stick to anything, maybe the better question is, what promise am I breaking repeatedly? And can I make it smaller? Small enough that it would almost feel silly not to keep it. Because every kept promise adds weight back to your word, and your word matters, especially to you. You don't rebuild confidence by thinking better thoughts. You rebuild it by behaving in ways you respect, and respect grows slowly, quietly, but it grows. If you've been feeling like you can't rely on yourself the way you want to, you're not broken. You've just got a bit of a trust gap. And trust gaps don't close with pressure, they close with consistency. One kept promise at a time, and that's what I'm focusing on. Not big plans, not perfect weeks, just making my word mean something again. And if that's something you're working on too, then stay and we can build it properly together.